The next series of compounds that we learn how to name are going to be binary covalent compounds. Now these are different from the prior few videos where we have named ionic compounds in the sense that they are covalent. Now again, the difference between an ionic compound and a covalent compound has to do with the dominant force that is holding the structure together. Okay, in the case of an ionic compound, it's electrostatic attractions between the positive ions and the negative ions. In the case of covalent compounds, is the sharing of electrons, as we will learn in future chapters. Now, covalent compounds are formed between nonmetals. So if we go back to the periodic table, and nonmetals are going to be up here. Okay, so those are going to be compounds formed by atoms in that region. Okay, so this is perhaps the simplest class of compounds to name. Okay, you simply, they are going to be the binary compounds. Okay, so they're going to have only two elements, and again are going to be nonmetals. Okay, the way that we name this element, these compounds, is we first name the first element. In this case, that will be carbon, and then after that, we just use the second element and add the suffix "ide." Okay. Now, in addition to that, first name the first element, then the second element with the suffix "ide," we have to use prefixes that indicate how many atoms we have in the compound, okay, for each type of atom. Now, the prefixes are going to be mono for 1, di for 2, tri for 3, tetra for 4, penta for 5, and so forth. Okay. Now, an exception to these prefixes is that the first element, okay, this one, if it only has one atom, then we do not use mono. But in this one, if it has one atom, we do use mono. Okay, so let's actually do a few examples and then see if we can get all this together. Okay, so again, CO. The first element is carbon, the second is oxygen, that will be carbon oxide, and then we'll have to use prefixes to say how many we have. Again, here we have 1, but it's the first element, so we don't use mono. Here we have 1, that is the second element, so we use mono. Okay, so that would be carbon monoxide. Again, notice that we don't use monocarbon monoxide because the first element can't have the mono prefix. Okay, so let's think about this one then. Okay, CO2, that will be carbon dioxide. Okay, let's think about this one. N2O. Okay, here is nitrogen and oxygen is going to be an oxide. The prefix here is going to be mono. Okay, and in this case we actually have nitrogen, but that it has we have to specify how many nitrogen atoms we have. That will be a di. So this is called dinitrogen monoxide. Okay, let's try to look for more examples. Okay, this will be dinitrogen pentoxide. Okay, and that will be the last example. This is going to be phosphorus pentachloride. Okay, so again, I think that this is perhaps the simplest class to name. You just have to remember to add the "ide" to the second element and then the prefixes, with the exception that we don't use mono for the first element.